Good evening, one and all. Welcome to Leaders Connect, an online leadership community episode 41, where leaders create more leaders organized by the mass leadership. My name is Aarti. I'm a model and motivational speaker. Leaders Connect is started with a specific objective of creating 1,000 plus leaders, where all the working professionals and business people share their real time challenges on our website, www.themassleadership.com. We see all challenges, filter them. And every week on Wednesday, we invite top management leaders from corporate company who will be giving solutions for our real-time challenges on leadership. That's when we call it as leaders create more leaders. Currently, all are muted. And we will be giving you an opportunity to interact with our guest, Mr. Vikrant. But before that, let me also share that we are currently live on Facebook and this episode is being recorded. So, for the visitors who have joined for the first time, you can click on Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn link on the chat box and can get update on weekly basis and join us on creating more leaders. So, are we all ready to interact with our guest on the topic empathetic leadership? Then please do type yes in the chat box. Thank you. But before the introduction of our guest, let me take the privilege to introduce the founder of Leaders Connect, Mr. Prakash Sharma, who will be interacting with our guest today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Aarti, and welcome all the members, visitors, as well as welcome the guest, Mr. Vikrant Vinayak. Thank you very much for taking your time to be here and creating more leaders. So definitely, we all are in. We will be able to understand on the specific topic, empathetic leadership, which is in today's need of the hour. So great. So Aarti, go ahead and share more about Mr. Vikrant Vinayak's personal details and then his professional video also. Please go ahead, Aarti.
Okay, sir. Now it's a privilege to introduce about the guest of honor for the week. Mr. Vikrant's spouse is a dentist. He is having two sons. His hobbies are running, golf, biking, and travel. He is currently live from Chicago, USA. Now, as you all know about the personal experience of Mr. Vikrant, to know about his professional experience, let's watch the video. But I also request all the members and visitors to please turn on the videos so it will be more interactive session. Thank you.
Great. So welcome, Mr. Vikrant Vinayak, and members as well as visitors. Kindly type in "Welcome, Mr. Vikrant Vinayak" on the chat box. And yes, he is for us to share about the empathetic leadership live from Chicago for us. Thank you very much, Mr. Vikrant, for taking the time.
Thank you, Prakash, for inviting me to this forum. As we had interacted, I think you have created a great forum because what we really need in today's world is, that whole effect of infusion from one person to another. So I think this is a great forum for people to learn from each other, interact, and build that leadership skills. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure that you have been here as well. So So Vikrant, in fact, let me give you an overview with all the members as well as visitors. In fact, me and Vikrant were able to connect through LinkedIn, and very long before 2 months, I believe, I did attend a session of Mr. Simarjit Singh, and through his session is where I got connected to Mr. Vikrant, and it was a nice LinkedIn connect through which we are able to help and move on. But good that we're able to touch base and then we are moving ahead. So let's go ahead quickly into the topic, Mr. Vikrant, where all our members and visitors are here to understand more on the specifications on the specific topic, which is empathetic leadership. So Vikrant, when you're done with your video, when you're comfortable turning on the video and you're reaching, stay comfortable, and then we'll be able to turn on the video. That will help. But it'll take a little more time, Vikrant, or is that safe?
It will take another 15 minutes, but I'll turn it on. And, as you probably remember me talking on Simarjit's video, I have a Tesla, which has an autopilot. So I usually, don't keep the video on, but I am on autopilot. So I'm going to go in between in a very safe way. But give me 15 minutes and I'll be home and I'll be on video completely.
Yeah. But thanks very much. That's been really great. And it's really honor that you've joined us here. So I'm sure that you'll be able to at least interact. Good. So Vikrant, so let's quickly, what is your view about this specific empathetic leadership? Maybe know your views. What is empathetic leadership all about, Mr. Vikrant?
Yeah, empathetic leadership is actually playing a very important role in today's world. In the last 16 months, 17 months, what we saw is our whole world has turned upside down, where boundaries between personal life and professional life have been very blurred, and personal life has encroached into the professional and vice versa. And so empathetic leadership really means the understanding what your team is going through, being able to relate to them, and making sure that you create a high performance team while empathizing the situation they are in, and whether that's a personal situation or even at a professional level. We are also living in a world where the skills we had yesterday are not going to help us in tomorrow's world. So we need to constantly be unlearning to learn new things. So that's what empathetic leadership really means. We used to say, with what is the platinum role of life? Treat others like you would like to be treated. So it's almost empathetic leadership is just like the platinum role. Treat your team, empathize with them, so you can be a good leader and they can perform at their highest caliber.
Perfect. Very nicely shared, Vikrant. In a context with respect to the theory, if we just take, it's more about empathy means understanding the other person's feelings, and that's how we need to interact. So apart from that, in reality, if you could just think, if you have to just share in one word, empathy means what you would like to correlate with, Mr. Vikrant?
I would say empathy also means the context.
Yes.
To give you an example, if today's call, if I would just, show up without giving you the context on why I'm in the car, your first impression would be, we were so respectful. We invited this person to this, forum to share his thoughts. And what does he do? He's not even in front of his computer. He's not even is on the video. But you were empathetic and you gave me an opportunity to explain why I'm in the car. And that framing, that context suddenly made it more powerful on what happened and why this is and where it's going. And not only that, yes, I will be in front of the computer. So similarly, when we are dealing with our teams, many times, if we react and we don't have the full context or the contextual or situational awareness, we will react a different way. But if we kind of step back and try to understand and go a step or two deeper to understand why our team is not performing, or what can we do to make our team perform even better, then that suddenly makes a huge difference.
True. Very relevantly told. To make our team perform better, we need to just take a step back and then think and empathize with them, and that's when we'll be able to make them perform better. That's our team members. Wonderful.
Absolutely. And Prakash, sorry to interrupt, I also like to call it having the humane side come out, being human. because many times we are all under pressures, whether it's targets to meet or deadlines and
Okay.
tasks to complete, and we tend to get very mechanical. But good leaders, they do not get mechanical. They get to the root of it on how can they improve their team. What is the team going through? Whether it's at a professional life, they connect at a human level with their teams, and thus they promote a very high performance culture.
Wow, wow. So being more human, that will lead us to a high performance culture. And just how do we be more human? Definitely we'll go more deeper insights. And Mr. Vikrant, what I'm also going to do is we also have a couple of our members who would like to interact. So I would request Mr. Devarayan to also be a part of our panel discussion here. And Mr. Devarayan is from ABB. So he heads the HR at ABB. And Devarayan, thanks very much for joining us today. And over to you, Devarayan, for a couple of questions which you would like to ask Mr. Vikrant Vinayak on the specific topic. So go ahead, Mr. Devarayan. Yes. We have unmuted you, Devarayan. Please go ahead.
Yes. Thanks, Prakash, and thanks, Vikrant, for joining us today to share your views and experiences with us, right? So, we are talking about a topic called empathetic leadership, and you are demonstrating that. So, though you are outside, you have connected with us, thinking that yes, people are waiting for us, and, and it's the time is fixed.
Thank you.
So they're demonstrating that. So thanks for that. So my question to you, the next question to you is, so how does the empathetic leadership helps to achieve the desired goals? Be it an organization or be it a kind of individual.
No, absolutely. So let me just one quick question for you. Are you where are you based?
I'm based in Bangalore.
Okay, great. So I will give you an example more from a personal life. We all kind of these days it's important to have a balance of that personal life and mental and physical fitness.
True.
So many of us go get a trainer or a coach. So first of all, as a leader, we need to kind of put ourselves in the role that we are actually a coach. So what is the first thing a coach or a trainer does? They understand, what your eating habits are. They understand what your exercise habits are. And they understand what are some of the weaknesses you have. For example, my own weaknesses, I love to eat chips. And you put a bowl of chips in front of me, I'll finish one and ask for another one and then ask for another one. So, and then basically the trainer's job is to connect and see how some of those, bad habits you have and say, listen, Vikrant, yes, you love chips, but how about you eat in moderation? How about you take a really small bowl? If you have to eat 2 bowls, you eat a small bowl and start with the second one. They connect at the personal level. So similarly, when we talk about high performance, I'll give you an example from my own thing. I have a team, and last year when in April, I connected with every one of them for 15 minutes between April and May. And that was, a lot of time to just make sure I talk to everyone. And some meetings went 30 minutes, some went 45 minutes. But it was really to understand, what do we really need to do to basically understand, what they're going through. And so as I understood what my team was going through, I was able to, connect at a different level. There was a person who just had a baby and they were buying a new house, and they had moved in with the parents for a short time. And so I had to make sure that I don't request him to be on video, because it was awkward. They were kind of sharing the space. Then there was someone who was going through who had just gotten engaged, and they had started to plan the wedding, and there was uncertainty on what the time is. So when you connect with people at that level, and then obviously empathy also means you being vulnerable and sharing what you're going through. I mean, I was sharing what I'm going through in my household, and they're sharing what they're going through. That creates a connection where you now suddenly understand where a person is coming from, in a much better way rather than just be very mechanical and have a transactional where, okay, you show up, here are the things you need to do to make me successful, versus how can I make you successful? So another aspect of that empathetic leadership is putting the other person first. What can I do to make you successful? That is the most powerful statement you can make to anyone on your team.
That's good. That's very nice. Putting, see, people say that, putting yourself in their shoes, but you are one step ahead and says that you, you put them first and you put yourself later, right? That's a very powerful statement indeed. Good. Is it okay that I'll continue my question, Vikrant?
Yeah, please do. Please do. By all means.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So the next question is, generally the empathetic leadership is looked up maybe in a larger level, looked up as a weak leadership, or say for an example, a leader is always favoring a person based on their needs or something like that. There is a syndrome saying that a strict leader will be looked at as a very good leader or something like that. What is your view on the empathetic leader as a weak leader, or he's a good leader, or he's a best leader?
Yeah, look, I'm an empathetic leader, so obviously I'm going to be biased, but I will give you an example. And I think this is where some of these foundations, if we really go back to our roots, to our culture, we will see that a lot of these examples are there. To me, a good leader is like a potter. The potter, what does a potter do? A potter, slaps the mud from the outside. And if someone is looking from the outside, they're like, geez, the mud is taking a big beating. Yet at the same time, what you're missing is the potter has one hand inside the pot to give that support, so the mud doesn't crumble and it forms into a nice, piece of art or a pot. So that's what an empathetic leader is: being hard for the benefit of the team when needed, yet providing the support the team needs, so they do not crumble under pressure and they refine and they transform.
Okay, so good. So be strict at where it is required and be more empathetic where it is required. That's what it's like, to
a
summarize,
balance.
I can
Yes,
I can put up,
a
right?
balance is needed. A balance is needed. Yes.
Okay.
Just to add on, Mr. Vikrant and Mr. Devrai, wonderfully shared one point which you told, Mr. Vikrant, which I really liked, is all about spending with your team members at least a 15 minutes time adds a lot of value. That personal rapport which builds is a part of empathetic leadership, and that's one of the really important aspects. I'm sure members who are here in our community as well as visitors just introspect this particular point, which what Mr. Vikrant is highlighting. On a day-to-day aspects, we may be really definitely interacting with people through WhatsApp, or we may communicate with people through emails. But yeah, work will get done, but how much? And the personal rapport, what we build, makes a lot of difference. That's what he was talking about, Shumain. Very nicely shared, Mr. Vikrant. So just I thought I'll just share this one particular point which came to my mind. So go ahead, Devarayan. Maybe I believe you have one more question to ask with Mr. Vikrant. So please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Prakash. So
Yes.
sorry, you must have experienced some bit of network issue. Okay. Okay. So the next question is like, how does an organization is getting benefits from these empathetic leaders? Like, maybe 1, 2, 3. So how an organization are getting benefits from the empathetic leadership roles? Vikram.
Yeah, I think leaders who are empathetic, their organization are high performing because they have a high performing team. There is a big correlation there. So I think that kind of just summarizes it all.
True. So that means, in other words, if you have to put Mr. Vikrant, what Devarayan is asking is, definitely organizations are getting benefited, but the empathetic leadership which we talk about, as his previous question was more about still people, maybe that could be in terms of countries, maybe different, but still in India, if you could look at it, then most of the companies are still getting into the context of empathetic leadership is a weak leader. So that's when we got a clarity that more the empathetic leadership is more of a strong leader. So there, if you could just give more insights to us as how organizations are getting benefited. That's what he will maybe, and one example in your company would really help Vikrant in understanding here as the culture. So will that be really great, Mr. Vikrant? One example on how it's helping the organizations grow. Okay.
Prakash, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, the question is all about how it really, maybe one example is how it's really helping the organization. Maybe at US, maybe the culture are different. In India, the culture is different. So how really empathetic leadership is really helping an organization?
Yeah, I think really whether it's India or US, whole world is evolving right now.
True, true.
And I feel that, in India, there are so many people who are working for, European or North American companies. So that whole cultures are kind of meshing, in quite a big way. And so I think, no matter what, company you work for, empathetic leadership is important. Even when we see, there are managers and then there are leaders. Managers, they just manage, right? They manage the task, they manage the process, they manage people. Whereas leaders, they lead. So in order to be leader, I personally feel that empathetic leadership is really important because you get the teams, you connect with people at a different level, and you get so much better output. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys are having team building exercises with your team. You're having offsite outings. Why we do that? So we can connect with people. So connecting with our teams is what empathetic leadership is all about.
Wow, wow. That's great. So wonderful,
Yeah.
Vikrant, for sharing it with more and more, with connecting with people. And it keeps on reminding me with me connecting with people. And members, the point what Vikrant highlights is the same. Let me share one more experience of mine as well, as when I'm interacting with people as part of this, for the whole Leaders Connect when it started 1 year before. Just not by sending a WhatsApp message, we are actually able to invite people. But only when I pick up a call or interact with them, or when I go directly or share it with them openly. And that's when people start coming. And that's the kind of relationship which is being built. And Vikrant is highlighting the same. In your respective team, with your respective team, how many of us really are very open to discuss the key points? And a very nice point example, which he told, that understanding our team member, what's the background they are at. And if there is a person, maybe the dad is unwell, then without him knowing that, we being only sharing about the results or tasks, which becomes very, very unclear for us. So wonderful, Vikrant, for sharing.
Yeah, Prakash, let me give you another example here. And
Please.
I think I
Really
mentioned that, and let me bring it to life.
Please.
Being vulnerable, is something is actually, sometimes it's looked down upon. Like, you're a leader, you should be firm, you should be strict. People should see that you are perfect. But guess what? Nobody is perfect in this world. So sometimes it's okay to be vulnerable in front of the team and share with them that you are facing same challenges as they are. And I've been a leader in my organization for a long time, and I was trying to lose weight. I was trying to get fit again, but it was difficult. And I would talk to my team about that openly. In 2019, I started the journey. I started to run half marathons. I started to bike. I started to do a bunch of things. And by July of 2020, I had achieved my target weight goal. And not only that, I was much fitter. And what that did is that allowed me to, actually at a mental level also perform really well, because I felt so good about me. So I became vulnerable, and I actually shared my pictures of before and after, most recently on LinkedIn. So I can share with others who are in my connection that, look, if I can do it, you can do it as well. Because these things everyone is facing, some of us are fitter, others are less, but, at some level, these are common issues. So if I'm a leader, that doesn't mean that I don't think about that. I think about that too. So I think that vulnerability and sharing that, no matter what level of organization you reach, the issues are still the same faced by all of us. And, we can help each other out by motivating, by inspiring. I think that is another aspect of this empathetic leadership.
Excellent. So wonderfully shared so far, Vikrant. I did see your LinkedIn post there about before and after about it. That's really good. I'm remembering that post which you did share. Good one. Great.
Yeah, probably sharing is caring. So he shares his
Yes.
achievements, so he cares for the people who are connected.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, very. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, Prakash, take it on.
So great. Thank you very much. So thank you very much, Devran, for asking the question. And so Vikrant, we would like to just take 2 more minutes in terms of, we're going to quickly conduct a quiz. And before we sharing the person who's going to conduct the quiz, let me tell you why do we do this. Yes, all the members and visitors who are here today for the first time, every week when a leader has been joining us, we quickly ask the quiz question. So keep your fastest fingers first. You're going to type your answers on the chat box. So to ask the quiz question, I would request Ms. Rekha to be here. So that Ms. Rekha, kindly turn on your or unmute yourself, Mr. Rekha. Great. Go ahead, Ms. Rekha.
Very good evening to everybody.
Good evening.
Great session going on. The interesting part of the whole program comes now. I think all the fingers on the chat boxes now. So before asking the question of this week, I would like to congratulate the winner of the last week quiz. Do we know who is the last week quiz winner? Yes, it's Sir Lakshman Narasimhan, and he was gifted the book, the one-page stock market plan. So that excellent book, and we also had the link of this book, very helpful one. So now shall we go ahead with the part of this week? Everybody is ready? Before that, can we just congratulate the winner of the last week quiz so that we all get motivated and we get some enthusiasm, energetic?
Good one. So go ahead, Rekha. We are eager with your question for this week.
Just a key point, a very small one letter, he told one word, Sir Vikrant sir told us now, what is empathetic leadership all about?
Okay.
Give us one single word.
Connect. Rajiv says connect. Context. In fact, the right word is actually context. Wow. So good. So what Vikrant told in one word or in one liner is what is empathetic in his view is context. So Rekha, I believe there's one lady, Varsha Subhash. She shared the answer.
Context.
Yes, that was the first he told, and then he shared many points. Senthil Kumar said human, Ramki is talking humanism. Wonderful. So,
But connecting people, yeah, that is connect is I think the exact word he mentioned.
Connect. Yes, connecting with people. Yes. Perfect. So wonderful. So let's
highlighted by you that this was the most powerful statement he gave about empathetic leadership. Maybe the other things are correct, but the point being wanted was connecting. The connect of people. Yeah.
Wonderful. So I believe, thanks very much for asking that question, Rekha. We can go ahead. I believe we had Varsha Subhash is there who have written on the chat box correctly. So congratulations, Varsha Subhash, for writing the answer appropriately on the chat box.
And thank you so much, sir, for giving this opportunity. Thank you all.
Pleasure, Rekha. Thank you very much for being there. So stay tuned. And so Varsha, since you had answered it right and then you did go ahead, so you get an opportunity also to interact or ask a question to Mr. Vikrant. And other members and visitors who are here in, now is the time for you to ask questions to Mr. Vikrant about this specific concept, empathetic leadership. I request you to stay, keep it a little short so that it helps. And he'll also be able to help us in terms of giving more solutions, right? So let's go ahead. So before that, so Varsha, we give you an opportunity initially. Do you have any questions to Mr. Vikrant? So you will be able to unmute yourself, Varsha, so that it will be helpful. Okay, Ms. Varsha, I believe she is there. Okay, so I believe Mr. David would like to ask a question.
Yeah, I'm there. I was
You're
trying to
there,
unmute
Varsha.
myself.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So go ahead, Ms. Varsha. Mr. Telvaraj David will come back to you again after Ms. Varsha's question. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Varsha. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful listening to Mr. Vikrant on a very key topic, empathetic leadership, as you rightly mentioned, in the last 16 months, which is one of the key skills that has been looking forward, from every member, not only from leaders per se, but I'm really curious to know a little more about how it has been in terms of if you were to connect this on the perspective of to become emotionally intelligent, Vikrant, is there anything that you would like to mention about or highlight some of the daily practices that could make somebody to get started off with? You've already shared a lot of points, but maybe as we always say, small steps, baby steps for somebody who hasn't yet started off, or for them what could be something that they can easily take back and think about, okay, let me get started with this.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think the most important, if I were to give you one thing, that would be active listening, because we also live in a world where we are all multitasking. We're trying to do 15 things at the same time.
Yeah.
And that prohibits active listening. So if you can practice active listening and, tuning in into what person is sharing, that definitely helps with that connection. That definitely helps with that empathy and the context really well.
Very beautifully said. Thank you, Vikrant. And I'm so glad and happy that I got an opportunity to, ask a question right, in the live. So thank you, Prakash and the team. Looking forward to hear from others.
Sure. Varsha, I would like to introduce yourself in short. So what do you do? We can just share for the members as well as the visitors here. So they'll also be helpful for them.
Sure. Thank you, Prakash, for giving that opportunity. So I would call myself as a transformational catalyst. So I've been in this domain of learning and development, in precise as a facilitator, behavioral and leadership facilitator, an emotional intelligence practitioner, and a mental fitness advocate for the last 12 years. And it has been a very interesting and ongoing journey, looking forward to connect with leaders across and all members to help more and also grow together.
Wonderful. Sure, Varsha. Definitely, we will do so. And congratulations, Varsha, for receiving as you've answered the quiz appropriately, correctly. You get the Mask Leadership Online 360-degree feedback assessment as complimentary. So we'll stay in touch, and
sure.
You'll be receiving it shortly. Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we have next is Mr. David. Mr. Vikrant, Mr. David is a member from Benicia Facility Management Services. So he would like to ask a question to you. So Mr. David, go ahead and you can ask a question, and we're unmuting you as well. Yes, Mr. David, go ahead.
Well, thanks for unmuting me, Prakash. I know you always hold me there so that I don't talk much. Okay. Hi, Vikrant. It was wonderful the way you explained something. I just wanted to know, because this question is stemming out of my interaction with my classmate of mine whom I met yesterday from one of the leading tire companies. What is the difference between what you call empathetic leadership and sympathetic leadership?
Oh.
Or,
Yeah.
compassionate leadership?
No,
We were
that's a very good question, David. That's a very good question. And look, I think, in my view, sympathetic leadership is where you're, kind of, trying to understand what the other is going through, and you sympathize with their situation. But empathetic leadership is where you're putting yourself in their shoes,
True,
and
correct.
and then you're acting from that. Like, what would Vikrant do if Vikrant was in this situation, and what would Vikrant like the other person to do if the tables were turned? So that is the biggest difference. We sympathize with a lot of people. There is a flood, we sympathize with people. Geez, it's wish we could help them. But empathize is someone says, I'm going to go to the Red Cross and I'm going to go volunteer with the effort, and I'm going to be in that shoes for a week or 2 weeks, and I'm going to help out. And I have some friends who do that. And that is like, almost putting yourself in those people's shoes, being there in that situation, and putting yourself in the shoes. So that, I feel, is the biggest difference.
Thanks, Vikrant. Thank you.
No, thank you. And David, you said you're with a facilities management company, and I think your world is also changing significantly in the facilities management, because years ago it used to be that you build the building and put people in there, but today our focus is on the employee experience, making sure that as employees walk in, they have a good experience from the time they walk into the building, to the security check-in, to maintaining the productivity by having the right temperature control in the building, having sustainable buildings so people can breathe clean, fresh air. So that whole world is changing significantly too. So hats off to you in that world, in that constant change, and hopefully a couple of things that we talked about here can help you take that back to your world.
Sure, Vikrant. Thank you so much. You summed it up in a minute, and thanks for the lesson too. Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.
Great. So thanks, David, for asking the question. So members as well as visitors, now is the time for you to ask questions to Mr. Vikrant. Think about the challenges in your organizations where you would like to ask, and what are the key aspects in empathy, and in real-time challenging situations in leadership if you have, please feel free to ask. There are two ways to ask: either raise your hand on the option or type your question on the chat box. So I believe Mr. Shantaram is raising his hand. You can also raise hand on the video or offline. We have a aspect of raise hand button as well. You can click on that, but I didn't do it. So Mr. Shantaram, I'm giving an option to unmute and ask a question. And before you ask the question, introduce yourself, Shantaram, and then ask the question. It will help.
Sorry, Prakash, the final part, it didn't come out. What were you saying?
Quickly introduce yourself in short and then ask a question.
Okay. My name is Shantaram and I'm working as accounting manager in a company called Hunger Rush India. Vikrant, my question is, just a couple of days back, myself and my wife, we were discussing. So I had a situation where I had to get some work from a couple of people, and they were facing certain issues due to which I was not able to get it, and they were explaining me why they were not able to do. And okay, so even I was telling, okay, let it be. And then I was having a discussion with my wife regarding this, and she was saying, don't try to understand too much about your subordinate's problem. Then it will become your problem. Then you will lose your objectivity. And wife is always right.
That is true. That is very true.
So there is also the possibility of being taken for advantage. I mean, the team members getting complacent. Where to draw the line?
Yeah, no, and I think, Shantaram, that's a wonderful question. And I think you would know where to draw the line as a leader. Like I gave the example of a potter, the potter knows, when to give the support to the pot from inside and when to slap it from the outside. So that balance has to be maintained when you have to be firm on the commitments. One example could be that, you jointly set the deadlines with the team, by working with them. And yes, sometimes events happen which are not in our control, but then people also feel bad if they're missing it, because and then they have the courtesy to give a heads up and say, okay, here is what has happened, but here is what we can do to make sure that we are still on track. So that's number one. Number two, I do agree that sometimes we don't want to be taking all of our subordinates' problems and make them become ours. But that doesn't mean we cannot empathize. That doesn't mean we go looking for that. Hey, what problem are you dealing with? Let me help you. If someone wants to connect, you obviously give people the space. If someone doesn't want to connect, you give them the space.
Mm.
The balance is like you listen and you kind of not like bring it home. For example, sometimes like we sit down on the grass. What's the first thing we do when we get up? We just kind of like do like this, so any dust on our pants or our shirt is there, that falls off. In a similar fashion, you listen, but you remember that the stuff you need to remember, but you kind of filter out stuff that could become a baggage for you.
I get it. Now this again leads to another issue actually. So I report to another person. Now my performance is dependent upon these people. You see, it's all linked. So I can't put pressure on these people to get the job done at the same. I mean, because I understand what you're saying. I can't be too strict also with them. It affects the work relation and stuff and everything. But at the same time, I'm also liable to answer to my boss.
Yeah.
So in between,
no, we all are, and I think that's where this joint target setting is very helpful. And perhaps you bring your boss and the team together and ask your boss to set the context on where the thing is. So you become the bridge, right? Here is what the boss is asking: why this is important to the organization, why it's important to all of us. And then helping set the context, and then that way you're not just like someone who's the heart, but you all kind of then work together on here are a couple of things that can happen to miss the deadline, and how do we kind of mitigate if this happens, and then you share that plan with the boss. So that way, boss will also see that you are proactive and you're thinking through stuff versus reactive.
Thank you, Vikrant. Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Great. That's a nice sharing. Good one. It's a wonderful part. Thanks, Shantaram, for asking that question. It was really insightful. And for other members as well as visitors, if you still have any question to ask, one last question we take, else we'll go ahead to summarizing what are the key aspects of this empathetic leadership, which was being discussed by Mr. Vikrant Vinayak. So if you have any, quickly raise your hand or type your question on the chat box. So I see one question is in the chat box, which is from Mangesh. We'll take this as the last question, and other questions, if you have any, we will be taking it up ahead a little later on through an email we'll take, because as part of the time is pressing, let's go ahead. So one last question by Mr. Mangesh. So Mangesh, I'll just quickly read the question, Mr. Vikrant of Mangesh, and then can go ahead. The question is, may we know your views on what is the maturity level of acceptance for empathetic leadership, is what is asking on a world scale of 1 to 10. What do you think is the maturity level of acceptance for empathetic leadership in Indian corporate world on a scale of 1 to 10? Oh man, that's a
yeah, it's a good question, Mangesh, but unfortunately I cannot answer because I do not work in the Indian corporate world. I have been in America for 22 years, and I do come visit India frequently, but my visits are short, and I don't have enough exposure to actually being there and working in that corporate world to make an opinion.
Good. Well, that's nice. In fact, but what is your viewpoint for this? If you remove the context of Indian context, we can only one last point. I mean, what is the maturity level of acceptance is what he says in terms of empathy?
Yeah, I can answer that, Prakash. I think generally speaking, we are accepting that, the empathetic leaders, more and more organizations are promoting people who are empathetic leaders. Why? Because again, I talked about high performance cultures. I talked about having that right context and the connection. And I think we feel good about something. We really want to work for that person. Like, in our life, we do things that we really feel good about. We watch a movie because it makes us feel good. And what type of movie we watch, it makes us feel good. It's comedy, we laugh, it's action, we put ourselves into the shoes of the hero. It's a drama, we empathize with what's going on. Similarly, people we work for, we all want to like that person. And when you like someone, you're willing to go above and beyond to do things for that person. So I feel there is more and more acceptance of empathetic leadership, generally speaking, because, empathetic leaders are able to rally the teams around them really well. And again, there is a balance in being, hard charging but also having fun and making sure that, people can deliver to their potential.
Great. So great, Mangesh. I believe you would have got the answer. Thanks very much for asking the question as well, Mangesh. Mangesh, would like to introduce yourself, and then I would go ahead quickly with the summary of the episode.
Thank you for giving opportunity, and thanks for answering the queries on this context. Myself, Mangesh Basmatkar. I'm working with a great organization, UK-based organization, Rotok Controls India Private Limited. We are into the business of wall automation, and basically what we're into the market segment of oil and gas and water and power. I'm based in Mumbai and carrying a total year experience of 15 years. Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Prakash, for your time, and thanks to sir also for listening.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. That helps. Great. So, members as well as visitors. So let me quickly brief you through for the people who are come here for the first time. Before we quickly summarize, let me share with you the objective of this community. Leaders Connect is an online leadership community where week after week on every Wednesday, we invite a top management leader to give solutions for our real-time leadership challenges. The leadership challenges could be the leading self, leading others, or leading the business. So today, how Mr. Vikrant has given you certain solutions on such specific challenges. Today, a couple of members have asked this particular point of empathy, empathetic leadership, emotional intelligence. That's how this topic is being phrased, and we have asked. So as we are doing this, we just do not stop ourselves in only inviting leaders to our community, but every month, the last Wednesday, we have a reflection session. That's when we are actually asking all our members as a part of how these learnings are being converted to action plans. And that's when they also write all action plans. So for the members who are coming here for the first time, if you're committed to grow constantly and interact constantly with the top leaders, then this is the platform you also can be in that will help you in. So you can also share on the chat box, you will see all the links come across. So feel free to join us. And the mission is all about creating 1,000+ leaders. So that's which we do here every week on Wednesday. So next week we have our reflection session, and in the reflection session is where this July month we had 3 people, that means including Vikrant Vinayak today, and the last week Mr. Venkat Narasimhan from Mizoho Bank, the director, and before that we had Mr. Venkat, who's also from in fact, micro habits and macro changes from Lumina Datamatics. In fact, one of the important aspect is this month we had all our leaders in the starting with the initial alphabet of V. So first is Mr. Venkatesan, then we had Mr. Venkat Narasimhan, and now Mr. Vikrant Vinayak. It's all V's has happened this month, July month. That's been excellent. So members, please stay tuned for the next week. We are going to have a reflection 7.0, where the agenda is all about very simple. You're going to share your action plan of the key learnings from each of these 3 points. We're also going to recognize the July active leaders, and we're also going to give you choose certain leadership roles. Today, you might have seen there are people who have taken certain roles of interacting with the guest. There are people who have started the initial, that is the Kirsten Tracer leader, summary leader. Such roles you also can take, which will help you in terms of making yourself much better. So these are the roles which we do in the reflection session. So with all this, Mr. Vikrant, we would like to invite Mr. Senthil, who's also a member from our respective community. He works in Daimler India as a part of the L&D. And I would request Mr. Senthil to quickly summarize all the points what Mr. Vikrant has shared, so on the benefit for all the members here. So go ahead, Senthil.
So thank you very much, team, and they really give me a special thanks to Vikrant Vinayak at the Times Reading 9 at Chicago to start off your office hours. And for the benefit and interest of a 50-member team group, I would like to consolidate the 14 points into a 7 points summary.
Wow.
The point number one is the constant learning as a platinum, which is a lifelong learner. This was one of the very powerful message what we take here. And second is with the present situation of 16 to 17 months of between the personal and the professional changes, which is getting blurred, where a coach play a pivotal role in understanding the mentee by doing a SWOT analysis and fixing the low-lying skills to meet the team performance. This is a second strong message what we take here. And the third is giving space when you have a one-to-one connection of a 30 to 40 minutes. This is, I think, the heart-touching connection. And where you give a space for the transformation for the team members to facilitate, to groom themselves. Then the fourth message, what we would like to bring here is, as this empathetic leadership will play a very crucial role in the people of culture in this cosmopolitan world to regain the team performance by connecting with people. And the last but not the least is about the health fitness initiative, what you have given a demonstration in 2019 on 8 months time on the weight reduction, which is setting a key role model for the complete team and the team members. And apart from that, there are some few initiative questions which have been raised about the EQ, and the essence is the active listening, which is pivotal and important for the emotional intelligence. Apart from that, there was a key learnings of difference between the empathetic and the sympathetic leader. Empathetic leader experience the feeling in other person's shoes. A sympathetic leader just express the feelings on the situation. And the last is the last analogy, which is more touching analogy, is on the dusting the back in while sitting in the park.
That's wonderful. Yes.
These are the key learnings what I could take from this session. And the same thing I would like to put it in our chat for the benefit of the complete team members. And today I'm very proud to see there are 50 members team who can get benefit out of this key essence. Thank you very much.
Guys, thank you so much. I have to go on to my next call, and thank you so much for giving me the chance to come and interact with you guys, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Vikrant. That's really awesome interacting with you. We'll stay in touch. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. So thank you very much, Mr. Senthil, for that awesome complete summary which you did make, and it's really great and insightful. And I'm sure people are appreciating you for your summary. Good one. So great. So thanks a lot, all the members as well as the visitors who've joined us today. And like how you have seen today, Mr. Vikrant Vinayak, feel free to be a part of it. The links are already there. Feel free to join us, or any questions you have, we will be happy to take. And even my mobile number is also on the chat box. We can go ahead. That's the next week link is also in the chat box. Next week, as we discussed, it's a part of very important reflection session. Just learnings will not stop here. When we need only, the next step is the action plan. Only when you take an action plan, it helps us to improve ourselves. So let's take that step and keep moving ahead. So for all the benefits, I would like to thank all one and all being present here today. An awesome taken time, an awesome people you all have been. Go back, apply all these points, what you take away from this. So one last the thanking video for all the members as well as visitors who are here today. Go ahead, Manish, for the thanking video. Okay. So Manish, I believe it's taking time for the thanking video. He is in, and I believe he should be able to do that. In the meantime, any other questions? If you have any, please feel free to ask. That will help. The thanking video is on. Go ahead, Manish. Please go ahead, play. Then after that thank you all for being in here. And I would like to just take this platform for asking feedback orally. Few members as well as visitors are here. And if you'd like to share your feedback, how these episodes are going, it will really help us. So anyone would like to share your feedback, we will give you the option to unmute yourself, and that will help.
So hope you can unmute everyone, Prakash.
Yeah, I'm just doing that only. So just a moment. Manish, we can just help in unmuting all.
Sure, Prakash. Give me a minute.
Yeah. Okay, I've done that. I got that. Yeah, I
Hi,
will give you
Prakash.
option to
Okay,
unmute
okay.
yourself one at a time, so it helps. So who would like to go first?
Shanmuga Priya here, Prakash.
Oh, okay. Yes, Shanmuga Priya. How are
Hi,
you?
Prakash. I'm doing good. How are
Thank
you,
very much.
Prakash?
All doing good. Thank you very much, Shanmuga Priya.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
So this is the first time I've actually connected without knowing what it would be. So first time itself, I feel like we got a lot of insights about a particular topic and where we can improve. We can also find our weakness and where we can improve. So we do not get this opportunity in a busy world, always sitting in systems. So, but this kind of opportunity is helping me to grow for faster, further. Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Thanks very much, Shanmuga. Would you like to introduce yourself, Shanmuga Priya? That will help.
Yes, I'm a data privacy specialist and analyst in Cognizant Technology Solutions.
Great.
And I have an
Thank you.
experience of 14 years.
Wow, wonderful. That's really been great. In fact, I also missed sharing it. Week after next, August 1st week, we have Director of Microsoft, Ms. Shalaka Verma. She's going to be a part of the particular topic. The topic is more on creating an innovative culture. And how do we create an innovative culture is what Ms. Shalaka Verma, Director of Microsoft, is going to be a part of us August 1st week. But before that, feel free to be a part of the reflection session. Thanks very much, Shanmuga Priya. Nice.
Thank you, Prakash.
Thank you. So who would like to go next? That'll add value. Maybe Nagaraj, I believe, has raised his hand. Yes, Nagaraj, please go ahead.
Yeah, Prakash, Nagaraja here. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for doing such a wonderful activity week after week, consistently for so many weeks, which is 40 plus weeks. It's definitely is going to add value to each of the leader who wants to aspire and learn famous or experienced people talking about and inculcating the same thing in their life and then making it useful. Again, what you said, every month's end of the week, it's a place where you actually share and you are actually making them to motivate to use it and then share it.
Yes,
it's a great thing.
Thanks very much, Nagaraj. That's called, we call it the reflection session. Every month, last week, we keep it as for the action plan setting. In fact, all our members have individual logins where they can really type in their respective action plans and they'll be able to track the action plans. And
Superb. The only last thing that I can say is the superb and ultimate thing.
Thanks very much for taking your time and joining us. We can just introduce yourself in short, Nagaraj, that also will help.
Yeah, I'm Nagaraja Sirgiri. I am a founder director of Karyam Financial Services Private Limited. I'm based at Bangalore. We are in the field of financial services. We help our clients in managing their financial needs.
So, if you have people who will share, or we will be coming closer to the end of the episode and we will close. So, any other people? I believe all are done. Okay, good. So, wonderful. There was a network disconnect. Yeah, I'm there. There was a short network connectivity. Good. So great. Thanks very much, one and all, being in here. Look forward for you all to meet next week again, and we'll stay in touch. So great. Thank you, one and all. Have a nice evening. Meet you all again. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye. Bye.